Sunday, 3/31/9. Hope you guys enjoyed this Sunday. We had Saturn entering the Pisces constellation, creating challenges into our dreamy like experiences. And that's crazy because, Saturn has been in Pisces zodiac energy for so long. It was all in our minds, the different challenges and the authority of our subconscious and our dreams and all that fun stuff, the hidden agendas and stuff. It was all in the thought process, all in the the ones and the zeros, and now we're bringing it down to the tens. Now change, more challenging events. However, let's get into 3/31/9, where fast forward to the moon day, y'all. 3/1 is a space of understanding, creation, and emotions. When we get into numerology, we're talking about Bina. This is understanding. This is Saturn energy. This is the conclusion we come up to. One is the knowledge, two is wisdom, which is the exercise of the knowledge, and three is like the conclusion after exercising the knowledge, right? So we're in the space of understanding. Three is expression and creation. Three also deals with community and communication in that Gemini energy, right? Three deals with your emotional self in the numerology realm. And we have that on the ones, your leadership energy. One deals with the ketters, your knowledge. So your emotional connection to the knowledge, to your knowledge, what you create with your knowledge, how you're expressing your knowledge, your understanding of your knowledge, right? One also deals with Aries energy. Aries is the gut that controls the mind. Everything starts with the thought, right? So this is your understanding of your gut, that intuitive energy. This is your what you create, what you expand, what you express with that energy, right? One also deals with taking initiative, being that cardinal energy, leadership. How are you expressing your leadership skills? How are you standing under your leadership skills? All of that fun stuff, right? What does that 3/1 do? It comes into a four, which is chesed, mercy, foundation. Four deals with home and family. This is Cancer energy. This is your space of nurturing. This is how you go inward. Four is chesed on the tree of life. Chesed is your divine blueprint. Now we're getting into the energy of Mayat. We're getting into your internal laws and your boundaries and things of that nature because four is ruled by that Jupiter Neptune energy. It depends on if you're looking at traditional astrology or modern, you know what I'm saying? But that those are the facets of four. Four is the foundation of the things, right? Culture and freedom of culture and the supreme mathematics. So we're going to take that foundation that we create with expression, expressing our knowledge, understanding our knowledge, cardinal energy, and we're going to put it into the month of three. This is the month of expression, creation, and understanding. This has been the month of getting into with your emotions, which makes sense, right? Because we have been in Pisces on the tropical, and then we moved it to Pisces on the Vedic chart, and then we had a period of time where we were on Pisces all three. Pisces deals with heavy sensitivity, being empathetic, being in your emotions into like a deep subconscious realm, and where a lot of things are hidden. You know what I'm saying? So we got into the hidden emotions in this realm. Hey Patrick, how you doing, love? So, this was the month of three, right? Three was Bina, understanding, challenges that come into our space that strengthen us on the three, as three is ruled by Saturn energy, and that's what Saturn rules over. Saturn also rules over the root chakra. So, getting into with your root chakra, the roots of some of your emotions was definitely a key here. Expression and creation was big here as well. So, we're going to take this day of four, we're going to put it into the month of three. That's going to bring us to the energy of seven. Seven in numerology is going inward, getting into hermit mode. Hey Alex, how you doing, love? To intake some spiritual knowledge, intuition, get more in tune with self. That's what we get into the seven. Seven in astrology deals with the Libra scales. This is the interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. Remember, we created the seven. We're taking initiative on our understanding and then bringing it to a foundation and then expressing that foundation. And we're applicating that to our interpersonal relationships, our bonds, and our contracts, right? We're implementing that in that Libra energy, creating law, justice, truth, and righteousness. Ashe. Seven also deals in the tree of life. Now we're dealing with the Heru energy, Netzach. This is Venusian. This is the celestial designers. We're designing what it is that we want to create in our space. Okay. We're going to take that seven. Of course, we want to give birth to what we design with the seven. We did all of this work on expressing, creating, and standing under our knowledge, our cardinal leadership energy. We made a foundation with that. And then we expressed the foundation and we're applicating it to our bonds and contracts for law, justice, truth, and righteousness. And we want to give birth to this law, justice, truth, and righteousness. We want to give birth to this spiritual knowledge, right? We want to give birth to this balance that we now have. And so whatever we put into the nines, nine is the year of harvest. What we put into the nines, we get back, right? Because we know the mathematics. Whatever you add into a nine, you're going to get back. No, hold on a second. Nine is dealing with a karmic number for the same reason. You reap what you sow, so like you're going to reap it this year, right? Nine is the number of completion, wholeness. Nine is Yesod. This is born in supreme mathematics. In the tree of life, nine deals with Yesod, Yemoja energy. This is the ninth Sephiroth. In astrology, nine is associated with Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. Jupiter Jubilee. This is the year of expansion, abundance, business, long term planning, joy, the sacral chakra, your reproductive self, as well as the wisdom from the oracle and the sages. This is all in alignment with the nines, right? So we're going to take that seven, we're going to put it into the nine, and when we put into it, we get the seven back, but the nine gives us the seven back a little bit different, right? It gives us back as a one and six. That's the expansion that the nine provides. Like you can have the seven back, but I'm going to give it back to you as a one and six. So now you have to have knowledge, intellect, take cardinal energy, because we talked about the one already, right? One is the Ketters in the tree of life. This is that Aquarius energy, the power to be one with all. This is a SAR. One also deals with Aries Ogun energy, taking initiative, following your gut. So we have that knowledge of six, Tippereth, our health, wellness, daily routine, a moral and integral code. Tippereth deals with our, that heart that be on fire. This is your confidence and courageousness. Six in astrology is Virgo energy. How you schedule, how you manage yourself. What are your habits? What are your thoughts? Your education, right? Six in the tree of life deals with Tippereth. Hold on, I'm missing one. Six in supreme mathematics is equality. I was getting there. Um, so we have that knowledge and we're taking action on the six, right? Overall, today's the day is seven. Today's a day of health, wellness, daily routine, moral and integral code. And it's cool that you're taking action on this six because Sunday was the day of six. Sunday was the day that you should have been planning, organizing, and managing. You know, you still got one more hour left of the day of six. So if you haven't done so already, plan out your week. Plan out your tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Plan out the next few hours if you have intentions on being up. Hey, Razzle Dazzle, how you doing? Hey, I be chilling. You could do the things because when we get into the day of seven, now we're designing. We're getting into the energy of designing that Tippereth, designing, what it is that you're trying to create, the confident courageousness, which you're managing in your space, right? And we're also applying that to our interpersonal relationships. So happy day of seven, y'all. Um, in the Neteru, when we deal with seven, we're dealing with Heru. We're dealing with, you know, that Venusian energy there, making things all pretty, being in our creative self, also finding that balance between the material and the non-material, the emotional and the physical realm. Hey, Lewis, check out wine. What's up? Hey, Arnold. Hey, AKA, peace. What's up with y'all? So that's what we have on day seven. Now let's get into the astrological astronomical report. We start the day off with a 4% waxing crescent moon rising at 7:39 a.m. and setting at 10:38 p.m. Tropically speaking, on our mindset, we have our third eye in Taurus. Taurus is that Venusian energy, right? But Taurus rules over the second house. But this is applicating to our balance between the physical and the non-physical realm. Taurus deals with wealth, finances, beauty, the material world. But it also deals with emotions, love, facets of forgiveness, the non-material world, right? And the balance that you have on Taurus will be expressed through your Libra energy when you get into the heart chakra. So how well balanced you are in your Taurus, which is the internal side of your heart chakra, will be expressed through your Libra energy, the external side of the heart chakra, both sides ruled by Venus, right? Um, this is in the fifth house. So we get a chance to focus on that there. Now, Vedically speaking, the happenings of our nurturing space, home and family, is in Aries at a 10 degree. This is new beginnings to our nurturing space, our introspection, home and family, also taking initiative, taking action. And then we're in Taurus on the draconic scale. So that moon energy of our emotional connection on the spiritual level is in that balance of the physical and non-physical realm. All of this is being applied towards the fifth house. The fifth house deals with your inner creative, romantic self. Fifth house is Leo energy. This is, ego, sun type vibes because the sun rules over the fifth house. As far as the nakshatra goes, the moon is in the Ashwini nakshatra, which is the first nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It's the starting point of the zodiac wheel. It's associated with Aries, which is mesh, and is ruled by Ashwina Kumaras, the twin horsemen and healing deities in Vedic mythology. It goes from 0 degrees to 13 degrees Aries, so most than likely we'll be in the second nakshatra by the end of the day. The moon transits through here. This makes the first nakshatra moon pass when beginning a new lunar cycle because we just had the new moon yesterday, right? Yeah, we did. The symbol and deity is the horse's head. Excuse me, it represents speed, energy, and the ability to move quickly and decisively. The deities of Ashwini are Kumaras, which are the divine twin physicians of the gods associated with healing, vitality, and rejuvenation. They represent health, divine intervention, and transformation. The ruling planet is Ketu, which is the south node. It rules Ashwini. Ketu is the shadow planet representing detachment, spirituality, and moksha, which is liberation. It brings an energy of sudden transformation, instinct, and the breaking of attachments to the material world. As Ketu rules over the nakshatras, Ashwini tends to have an energetic, restless, and sometimes unpredictable quality driven by desire and rapid change and transformation. Ashwini is dynamic, enthusiastic, courageous, and full of youthful energy. It signifies quick action, leadership, and the ability to initiate and start new projects. So you already know we in a new moon. It's time to start new projects, etc., etc. Some negative traits of this nakshatra is the restless and impulsive energy of Ashwini can sometimes lead to rash or hasty decisions. So be mindful of that. And people or situations under the influences may become impatient, impulsive, or overly driven without proper planning. Make sure y'all plan y'all stuff out, y'all. Especially that 3-1 comes into a 4. So, play around with the numbers to help support that. Now, getting into the sun energy. The sun rises at 6:44 a.m. today, sunset at 7:23 p.m. if you're over here on the East Coast with the goddess. Mentally, tropically, we're in Aries on draconic chart where our spiritual self is also in Aries. So new beginnings, taking action, being in that fire energy on mind and soul. We talked about this a few times. Like, hey Melvin, what this means is it's like your mind and soul is already going into spaces, opening up windows and doors for you, and your body is still in Pisces constellation, so it hasn't, be patient. Like in your mind, time is moving faster, things are moving faster, way better, way faster than they actually are in the physical, because we're still in that Pisces waters. We're still in the 12, while our mind and our spirit is in the ones. So be mindful of that. All of this is happening in the fourth house, so it's relation to home and family, our nurturing selves, our emotional connections on things, introspection, and all that fun stuff. The moon is actually in the last nakshatra, which is the Ravati, which is pretty cool because we have the moon in the first nakshatra, and then we have the sun in the last at the bottom. And so, just wanted to read a little bit about Ravati, but it's the final nakshatra in Vedic astrology. It goes to 30 degrees Pisces, and the sun moves 1 degree a day. So we're here for the next 17 days. Like I told y'all, April 17th is when the sun moves in Aries constellation. That's when we'll have the sun in Aries on the tropical Vedic and the draconic chart. So it'll be like, for me, that's my New Year's. When we're all three are lined up, mind, body, and soul, and new beginnings. But let's see. Um, We're in Ravati right now, is ruled by Jupiter, and their nakshatra is heavily influenced by Piscean energies such as intuition, empathy, and spirituality. It's ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, and processing information. It gives Ravati a unique ability to connect emotions with intellectual clarity and communication, though its connection is expressed through nurturing and supportive means. The symbol is the drum, often depicted as the maru, a two-sided drum that produces sound. The drum represents the rhythm of life, the sound of creation, and the ability to bring people together through communication, celebration, and community. The drum also represents spiritual resonance, signifying how Ravati calls forth the divine rhythm in the world. The deity is Pushan. This presiding deity of Ravati is Pushan, the god of nourishment, protection, and prosperity. Pushan's role is to ensure the nourishment of both the physical body and the spirit, offering a sense of security and growth. Pushan is the guardian of travelers, indicating that Ravati is often linked with journeys, whether physical or spiritual, towards growth and completion. So that's what I have there. And so Mercury and Neptune are at minimal angle at 12:39 p.m. today. Mercury will be 3.2 degrees northwest. And no, it's not visible. Mercury rules over community, communication, decision making skills, your health, wellness, daily routine. And Neptune is rules over your subconscious, your dreams, anything hidden beneath the horizon, in the subconscious realm. So with Mercury communication and Neptune and Pisces energy, it's a good space for the spellcasters because this is happening in the Pisces zodiac and constellation. Parima, which is the star of prophecy in the Virgo constellation, is in opposition with the sun at 3:13 p.m. This is the best visibility of the year. So you have Parima. Well, while the sun is over there in Aries Pisces energy, the Earth is in Libra Virgo energy. So any type of stars that are in the Virgo Libra constellation is closer to Earth than what's near the sun. So you have like the stars of harvesting, creation, manifesting, prophecy, and all those things like that closer to the earthly experience. And Parima is one of them. The best visibility of the earth shine on the moon is right before dusk today. So you'll see like an orb on the moon today to make it look like it's full, but it's not fully there. The moon and Uranus are in conjunction at 8:36 a.m. The moon is 4 degrees north. Minimal angle at 6:56 a.m. The moon is 3.7 degrees north northwest, and we'll be able to observe that at 10:16 p.m. with a 7.9-degree west northwest separation. Uranus is over there. It just entered the Taurus constellation at a 0 degree. So, like I said, by towards the end of the day, the moon will be over there in Taurus, zodiac constellation energy by the end of the day. Um, so it'll be over there near Uranus, which just entered the Taurus constellation a few days ago. And so, now you have that alignment. Uranus rule is the energy of progressive pushes, gives us the progressive pushes to move towards where we say we want to go. But Uranus pushes very aggressively. And it's one of those energies that's like you don't really see like the full picture until hindsight. Um, the example I always give, and I know the people that watch me all the time are tired of hearing of it, but for you newcomers, what's old to us is new to you. But the example I always give is Uranus entered Taurus zodiac the beginning of March 2019. By the end of March 2019, we had PPP loans, unemployment. We had what do you call it? The essential workers. We had people valuing home and family more, the matriarchs, the patriarchs valuing their elderly more, etc., etc. There was a big progressive push, transformation in what we value and what we prioritize. That balance between our emotional and material self, right? And that was only like that wasn't even a whole 30-day span. You know what I'm saying? But those were, but that pandemic or whatever was the progressive push. So with Uranus entering Taurus energy, we're getting more progressive pushes, are we not? A lot of people are getting more progressive pushes on what to value and prioritize, in that Taurus realm of, physical things and emotional self. So then we have the moon there. So hopefully you guys are having more introspection and checking your emotional connections to the progressive pushes that are coming, and hopefully providing some transformation and some real like ground yourself. Like, why are we really here? You know what I'm saying? Why are you really here? you know a lot of us know that the system and the routines of things we've been doing isn't conducive to us, on emotional, psychological, spiritual, and even for some of you guys on a physical level, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about finances, right? We've been living in a society that has an imbalance on that Taurus energy of the emotional and the physical realm. And so hopefully you guys use this moon and Uranus connection in Taurus to help you get some introspection and, rebalance, what you're prioritizing, what you value, and so what level, you know what I'm saying? And at what expense, what are you really willing to spend, you know, and think about some of the things that you guys are spending that you can't get back, like your time, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I have there for you. I won't get too deep into it. Anyway, Mercury enters Pisces the no Pisces zodiac today at 12:34 p.m. Mercury rules over your throat chakra, your decisive space. Mercury seems to be like between Mercury and Neptune. Hey, O Town, they both seem to be like front and center today. But Mercury enters Pisces zodiac at 12:34 p.m. Mercury rules over your decisive self, communication, what you listening to, what you speaking on, how you teach, how you learn, um, how you schedule and manage yourself, your routines, your habits, your moral and integral code, all that fun stuff. Mercury rules over. It's heavy on the intellect. And so now that intellectual space is going into that Pisces energy. Emotional intelligence is key here for a lot of you guys. I know that, Gemini and Virgo is at the, top of the game with it. Some now it depends on how balanced the Virgo and Gemini is. If they imbalanced, they playing on it. But if they're balanced in their other planets and ways of going through things, and they have a proper moral code, they're coming to a space of having that emotional intellect on a level that we all can agree is okay, this is top tier. You know what I'm saying? Um, but also having more spiritual experiences embedded into your daily routine, um, your moral code, and things of that nature. As you know, Pisces is associated with that Maya energy over there in Chesed, the fourth Sephiroth. Neptune, our subconscious planet, enters Aries zodiac at 12:34 p.m. So we have this planet of hidden dreams, habits, anything that's hidden beneath the horizon, anything that is beyond the five senses, your spiritual intuitive self. Neptune deals with endings and closings. And so now we have this planet that rules over endings in this energy of new beginnings. So we're going to experience like a nice blend of the two happening in our thought process. You remember, this is only in the zodiac, and zodiac rules over your mindset, how you think things to be. While Neptune is still in Pisces constellation, so we're still dealing with the happenings of our subconscious and that dreamy like energy, um, even though our mindset is on the new beginnings. And it's fun there. Aries also deals with like militant type energy and having that sense of militant type intellect, being methodical and things like that. So um there will be like emotional pulls and sensitivities in that realm of things with war and uh militant type energy and stuff like that. But Neptune vibes can also deal with creating illusions and you know um things of that nature too. So be mindful of that. People having dreams that are war related and a little volatile, aggressive, assertive. People being emotionally attached to, the things that they believe in, which can make them a little aggressive or assertive when you're trying to, help them detach or cleanse themselves of some of those delusions. So different things like that can be under the way too. So be mindful of that and give grace to the people that are ruled by that Neptune planet and their personal planets more so than anything, like the sun, moon, rising, especially Mercury, because they could be a little aggressive, assertive in those areas more heavily than usual. If you see a water sign walking around with a bottle of liquor, snatch that shit. No water sign should be drinking, especially not no motherfucking Pisces. So there. That's there. So that is a numerological, astrological, astronomical report. So we can get into the calendar of the things. In the ancient Kemetic calendar, we are still in the energy of Isis on the Deccan. And the ancient Kemetic calendar, we get 3 seasons a year. Each season gets 4 months. Each month gets 30 days. The 30 days are divided into 10-day weeks, which we call decans. We're officially in the fourth decan of the third month. This is the 31st day. So we're on a day of four and a decan of four. And so this is the decan that creates that solid, like this is the day that really solidifies the month of three, you know what I'm saying? And then it's cool that it's on a day of seven, seven and shit, it escaped my mind the moment it entered it because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to give you guys that on the day of seven. Oh, the life path energy of seven, right? And this is a good day for my life path. There are 1 4s and 7s, and my 8s too, because y'all know how to stand on business. And y'all the energies that really know how to be in solitude or isolation and independent to get things done. My 3 6 9s and 5s, you guys, will have to exercise that independent energy without being feeling emotionally isolated, learning how to be alone without being lonely, and utilizing that time and space to go inward and really search for the things you need to search for before you start trying to go outward and engage in interpersonal relationships, bonds, and contracts. But you see that with the numbers, right? 3 1, and then we got 4. So, that is a dependent, being independent, etc., etc. And then we get into the 7. So once you have your sense of independence, groundedness, and being dependable, then you more so want an interdependent relationship on that 7, right? So do that work on the 31 before you start playing around with them 7s on that type of level as well. Um, and as far as the month goes, we are in the month of Faminoth in the Kemetic calendar. This is a ruled by Osiris, which is the god of afterlife and fertility, and y'all know Isis deals with fertility as well. As far as the Hebrew calendar goes, we're in the month of Nisan, which is spring. Nisan is the first month of the Hebrew calendar. It marks the arrival of spring and symbolizes renewal and freedom. It is the month of Passover, which is Pesach, a holiday that commemorates the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt. This is the time of liberation, spiritual rebirth, and the start of Jewish people's journeys to freedom. Some key phrases for the month of Nisan are celebrating the liberation from slavery in Egypt. The day that we're in is Yom. We're in Yom Shani, which is the second day. Yam Shani is on the second day, God separated the waters, which is Genesis 1 6 through 8. And unlike the other days of creation, the second day is not directly associated with a blessing in the Torah. It is a day of separation and division, symbolizing the idea of differentiation and balance in the world. Yam Shani is Monday. Separation, balance, and division are the key words. In the Hindu calendar, we talked about, the nakshatra that we're in. We are in the horoscope energy of Meena, which is the fish. Tropically, we are Vedically, and then we're in the energy of Mesh, um, Vedically. In the Hindu calendar, on the day, we're in Samvar, which is ruled by Lord Shiva. The planet is the moon. Lord Shiva is the destroyer and transformer in the Hindu trinity. Trimurti is also associated with meditation, asceticism, dance, and the destruction of ego. The moon, which governs emotions and the mind, is linked to Lord Shiva, which is both the compassionate and terrifying god of regeneration and transcendence. Mondays are dedicated to worshiping Lord Shiva, and many devotees observe fasting and spiritual rituals on that day. Chanting mantras like Om Namah Shivaya or Shiva Sahasranam is considered auspicious for seeking blessings or spiritual growth, mental peace, and liberation. So that's that there. And like I said, Vedically, we're in Meena, which is the fish. This is ruled by Jupiter, being intuitive, artistic, and dreamy. Pisces energy is deeply empathetic, creative, and drawn to spiritually or artistic pursuits. Being sensitive and understanding to other people's feelings. It's ruled by Matsya, the fish incarnation of Vishnu, excuse me. And then Mesha is where we're at tropically and draconically. And this is fire, ruled by Mars, energetic, courageous, adventurous, and impulsive. Um, this is not the energy of the natural born leader who takes initiative and enjoys tasks. God of War energy, Mongol rules over this energy. Mars is a powerful and energetic deity associated with courage, aggression, and assertiveness, which aligns with Aries' bold and pioneering nature. So That is the horoscope energy between Hindu, Hebrew, and ancient Kemetic energy. Um, Getting to other horoscopes, we're in the year 2025. That's wisdom in our cipher and wisdom in our power. We are focused on that solar plexus energy there. Two also deals with the vibes of Maya and exercising the knowledge that we gave birth to in the 1900s, right? We are in the year of Jubilee. This is the year of gold and the alchemist energy, passionate, interesting, and faithful people, attracting many people, generous kindness, and long lasting relationships, having a love of luxury and spending money, ambition, and power are keys here. As far as the West African horoscope, we're in the energy of family. We're here from March 6th to April 4th, being human oriented. And the Native American horoscope, we're in the energy of the Falcon. We're here till April 19th. Strength, being great observers and never missing out on anything, perseverance, and having our way. And the Celtic or Druid horoscope, we're in the energy of Alder. We're here till April 14th. The Trailblazer, being romantic, brave, and generous. Um, and of course, in the Chinese horoscope, we're in the energy of the wood snake, a period of transformation, creativity, wisdom, and unpredictability. The moon day is ruled by the third eye chakra. This is Ajna, command beyond wisdom, located between the eyebrows. We're dealing with polarity here. In the sun, we're dealing with the outer polarity. When we're dealing with moon day, we're dealing with the inner polarity. So now we're in our creative and spiritual self today. This is associated with the light element, the F note on the piano or whatever instrument you want to play. Ma sound, or the ma vowel sound, and doom or are the hakals for today. 852 hertz is a good sound to listen to, and the colors 490 to 450 in wavelength. The moon deals with all set energy. This is Cancer, your moja, awareness of depth of being. So going into your introspective, realizing how infinite you are on the inside, because all day Sunday you was realizing how infinite the outside world is. You were having extra perspective, but now we're going inside on a Monday. Okay. Learning, healing, nourishment, trance of the ninth sphere, because Cancer is Yasad and that rules over the ninth Sephiroth. So this is why when you look at the above and below, it looks like a tree that's rooted upward and downward. Because when you're dealing with the moon and the sun, you're dealing with the third eye connection. So you're dealing with the upward. But when you deal with the moon and sun and the tree of life, it's also going downward because you got your side being a divine womb, which is kind of like a upside down, inside out situation when you think about the womb and the fact that we're kind of low key in a womb too. So it's fun here. Um, but that is that there for the horoscopes and the zodiacs of the different cultures that we have. So now we can get into the planetary hour, y'all. We're gonna start off with the hour of the moon. The hour of the moon is from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. The hour of the moon deals with your introspection, doing some emotional work, journaling, dealing with home and family and all that fun stuff. That's what you want to do when you're dealing with the moon. And we talked about the moon um, being in Taurus for today in the fifth Sephiroth. This is tropical, right? Yeah. Because Vedic still in Vedically in Aries, but tropically in Taurus. So mindset is on that balance between the material and the emotional world, while the events on your introspection and emotional home and family energy is still on Aries of new beginnings as you find that balance between the two in your mental, right? The moon is over there approaching Uranus, just to remind you guys. And it's in the fifth house with it. Your confidence and courageousness is going to be necessary when implementing that balance of what you value and what you prioritize. Ashe. The hours of Saturn: 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and then 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturn deals with long term planning, some challenges that may come into your space that help you create the strength that you need to carry on. Saturn deals with authority. Who is your authority? Is it you? Is it other people, places, things, situations, ideas? Is it contracts that other people signed on your behalf tens of thousands of years ago? Is it some crazy boogeymen that sit on C-SPAN all day and they be half asleep? Like, who is your authority? I hope it's you and all this other bullshit around you, because that is the definition of Zen. You hear me? Um, But Saturn is sitting over there in Pisces, and we just talked about Saturn entering the Pisces constellation in alignment with the Pisces zodiac. So, your emotional connection to the different challenges that have come across, things being uncovered, hidden agendas and all that stuff about, oh, that's why that happened. This is why that happened. Things being uncovered about stuff in your root chakra, things being uncovered about who and what and the hows and the whys of the different authorities in your space that's calling on you to become the authority yourself, take your shit back. Um, Different quote unquote traumas that happen to you, having some sense of like introspection, working on your sensitivity and your emotional connections to those things as well, being more empathetic to other people's situations in those spaces. That's all Saturn. And during the Saturn hours, we deal with that kind of energy, and we also deal with long-term planning and the kind of challenges that come into that space. Jupiter's hours are from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then 11 p.m. to midnight. Um, yeah, Jupiter deals with long term planning as well, but this is more so in the space of expansion and getting knowledge. So while Saturn is like, this can go wrong, Jupiter would be like, okay, this is what we need to learn about just in case that does go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter brings expansion and abundance. Business is good with Jupiter. Jupiter likes to be about the business, you know what I'm saying? So once you realize who's your authority, Jupiter can get the business about it. Jupiter also deals with the wisdom from the oracles and the sages in that realm too. We do have it sitting over there in Gemini in our thought process. So communication, being flexible, adaptable, but also having a sense of focus at the same time is key. In the Vedic realm, Jupiter is still sitting over there in Taurus energy. So expansion and abundance and that balance between um, your emotional and your material self. It's happening over there in the seventh house. It's really cool. So it's like, the goal really there is to find balance, and the more balance you find, the more abundance you'll have. So that's really cool there. Jupiter's in a fun space. Mars hours are from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then, of course, midnight, we start Tuesday on a Mars hour, right? Mars deals with your ambition, your assertive, your aggressive self, what angers you, all that fun stuff. You might want to engage in some physical activity during Mars hours. Do some things with your gut, whether you're fasting or being intentional with what you input into your gut during those hours is heavy there too. Mars, our assertive self, is still sitting over there in Cancer energy. This is our third swipe around because we was prograde in Cancer, then we went retrograde, now we're prograde again. It's in that eighth house of transformations and empowerment. So having introspection on your solar plexus chakra, because that's what Mars rules over. Cancer energy is introspection and emotional attachments and nurturing. How do you nurture your assertive, aggressive self? In what ways do your assertive, aggressive self needs to be nurtured? How are you, being a leader? You know what I'm saying? Are you nurturing to your leadership skills? Uh, you know, what kind of emotions can people touch that make you become assertive or angry or whatever? Peace back shot. How you doing, love? Um, Stuff like that. And the more you nurture your solar plexus chakra, the more, emotional introspection you have towards your solar plexus chakra, you'll start to grow that with other people's solar plexus chakras as well. And that brings transformations in your space, empowerment. We love it here. And the energy exchanges, Mars is still sitting over there in Gemini on the Vedic chart. So this is providing transformations and empowerment in your community. Gemini rules over like the community as far as your what do you call it, like your family that you grew up with, cousins, relatives, people in the tri-city area, people you went to school with since you were a kid, neighbors, shit like that. So having those sense of introspections and awareness and stuff like that on other people's shit. I'm heavy on the seven chakras. Me too. I master applicating your planetary placements into your chakras. That's what I do. Sun hours are from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, the sun deals with energy like Mars does too, but Mars is more assertive and aggressive. in the solar plexus chakra realm, the gut that controls the mind, while the sun more so deals with like vitality, where you're putting your energy towards, how you're expressing yourself, how you're engaging in your experience, which is the masculine. Anything outside of yourself is masculine, right? When you go within yourself, now we're going feminine. So any how your masculine energy interacts with the masculine energy around you, that's all sun energy. And we talked about the sun being tropically and Aries energy. So in our mindset is new beginnings. That a sort of aggressive energy is heavy there too. So you guys are starting to like, why are people arguing about this? Why this, that, and third? So that's what you're computing in your mind. What's happening is the sun is still in Vedic astrology. Vedically speaking, the sun is still in Pisces. So this is still subconscious, hidden dreams, goals, and agendas. So all the shit that's hidden also Pisces deals with being empathetic and sensitive to other people's emotions and stuff like that. So everybody's moving in that heavy sensitive realm. Y'all know we still got that heavy planetary lineup in that Pisces Aries energy. So while it's assertive, aggressive, it's also very emotional and very sensitive. So learning to be more empathetic and aware and stuff like that of people's red buttons will definitely help you in the energy exchange realm. I'm not saying you gotta let people walk all over you or whatever, whatever. But the more awareness you have, the more mature you can be in your energy exchanges. It helps. You deeper than me. Oh, it's okay. Stick around. Um, Venus hours are from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then, no, I'm sorry, that's 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's the Venusian hours. Now, Venusian hours are good for creating stuff. You know, if you're an artist, make music, fashion, art, jewelry, whatever, what have you. Also, romantic pursuits, business planning, wealth, doing money transactions or whatever. Um, that's all Venus. And those are good hours to do it. Venus is still sitting in retrograde in that Pisces energy. We talked about Venus going. I don't think Venus is in. No, Venus isn't in. Yeah, it is. Venus is in Pisces on the tropical and in the Vedic chart right now. So you have, that heart chakra connection in that sensitivity space too. That balance between like love and wealth and things like that. So if people money funny, please leave them alone. This is not the time. I seen somebody, I won't get into it too much, but I seen somebody that I follow on Instagram and I was very inspired by his posts and stuff. He's a motivational, whatever, what have you. He's just a little aggressive or whatever, but that don't bother me too much or whatever. But then I got turned off when he tried to talk to me directly, and I was like, "Ew, I don't really like your energy." But I see him posting like on top of like him doing that, which I thought was odd because why are you even in my inbox? Um, I also see him posting about people asking him for money, and he's been posting about that for a few days. So that must have been like a real happening. Somebody asking for money and him feeling some type of way. But like that's like a perfect that energy right there, how I just explained that, perfect example of Venus and Mercury in retrograde. Like, cause what the hell? Like, you supposed to be motivating people, and you over here trying to put people down and stuff like that. Like, your ego is showing, and that's a perfect example of what the retrogrades in Pisces look like. Pisces Aries energy looks like it's assertive, it's aggressive, it's angry, and then it's like mad sensitivity showing. You're really showing yourself now. Now it's, you're showing people how deep your ego is. You're not really a community person. You're actually kind of mean spirited and a little nasty, and you need to fix that shit. Like, it's showing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the Pisces stuff does. It uncovers. It's a space of closings and endings. You know what I'm saying? So that's that there. But Venus is in, retrograding in Pisces, and that's happening in the fourth house of nurturing, home and family, and sensitivity and emotion. So heavy emotions going on around this space. You know what I'm saying? Um, Going into Mercury hours. Mercury hours are from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., and then 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mercury deals with your decision making skills, your routine, how you schedule yourself, your habits, what you're listening to, how you listen, excuse me, how you speak, how you learn, all that stuff. That's all Mercury. We know Mercury's in retrograde, so you'll find yourself repeating, some habits, some routines, repeating some communication lines, um, repeating what else? Different things, different lessons and stuff. Mercury is close to Venus, and they're both in retrograde in that Piscean energy. So, you know, that's where the romantic pursuits and the creative energy and somebody you might have shared your routine with on a business level or an emotional level, those degrees will repeat. And it's happening in Pisces. Hey, Adonis, peace to the God. And it's happening in that Pisces energy. So it's happening in that space of, I guess you need to learn again what their hidden agendas are, how they really are, how their spirit is really set up. You know what I'm saying? Let me play it for you again. You know what I'm saying? And decide if you still want to deal with that shit. But your decision making mind, repeating some different opportunities to repeat some decisions and stuff like that. That's what Pisces is doing. During Piscean hours is a great time to learn something, maybe listen to something, speak on something, teach something. Trading is good for my traders in the bag. Traveling is also good during the Mercurian hour, all that fun stuff. Um, but that's what I have for you guys. Oh yeah, Mercury is also in that fourth house of home and family, nurturing the emotional connections too. So repeating some emotional habits and things of that nature is a thing too. So that's what I have for you guys for the planetary hours of the things. Um, some honorable mentions. We have Lilith over there in Scorpio in the 11th house. So you have that rebellious, primordial, feminine energy and that space of power, transformations, rebirth, telling secrets in the 11th house. So it's going towards society. Feminine energy is, there's a rebellion happening amongst the feminine energy. And I'm not just talking about women, even though women are the closest personification of feminine energy. But there's men that's walking around with heavy feminine energy right now too. And so there's a big surge of that, being rebellious against, society as we know it and moving in that direction, uncovering secrets and being transformational. Uh we still have Chiron over there and Aries energy. That's how we transmute our wounds into strengths. It's calling on new beginnings. It's at a 22 degree, which is master architect setting the foundation. Right now, it's in the fourth house of home and family and nurturing the matriarchal energy, emotions, introspection. Like I said, there's transformations happening in the spiritual realm, just like they're happening in the physical. We have all these big things happening with transformation of power, transformation of systems that we've had in our root chakra, right? For the longest. This is Saturn and Pisces heavily right now. Just wait till Saturn enters Aries. There's going to be brand new things that's going to take place. Like, you have this guy, in the White House, eradicating a lot of things. That's Pluto over there in Capricorn Aquarius. He's eradicating a lot of things, creating transformations in a lot of things, creating challenges to the way we thought things were supposed to move. You know what I'm saying? Transformations on how survival of self is, who's your authority. A lot of people are losing their jobs is on one side of thing, how your mindset is, that's not okay, we need the job, da, da, da. Okay, that's the fish you are on the Pisces scale. Other fish are saying, we never wanted these things to begin with. Ben said we didn't want these things. Tired of people just saying, oh, I'm just doing my job, and you're losing your your sense of humanity because you're just always doing your job, doing policies and procedures. You know what I'm saying? So now your power has been taken away. Now what? Who's the authority? How are you going to survive? So you have this two-way street kind of happening. It depends on where your mindset is at with that. I won't get too much into doing with where my mindset is. If you're sitting here, you already know where I'm coming from. But everybody, has their own way of doing things. But that's all root chakra shit. You know what I'm saying? The root chakra is undergoing a transformation for us as a collective, as a whole. This is affecting not just, our country, but other countries around us who depended and relied on us flowing like fishes in some of that Pisces shit. Believing in certain things, going with the flow, being, being the corporate 9 to 5, and now I gotta get three, four of them and all that stuff. They depended on us having that mentality, you know what I'm saying? And now the mentality is being ripped away from us to where people are waking up and they're adapting, they're realizing they don't need it, they never needed it, whatever, what have you. And so it's changing, how other people can depend and rely, you know what I'm saying? And some people are losing their minds. Some people are like, okay, we got to transform. Now we got to transform our country. Now we got to transform. So, it just depends on how you move and how adaptable and flexible you are. That's Jupiter over in Gemini. How flexible can you be? You know what I'm saying? So all of that is happening there. Ceres is also happening in Pisces. This is agriculture energy. This is how we're nurturing other things too on that subconscious spiritual sensitivity realm. And that's happening in the third house. So that's going towards like community and communication in your intellectual space. Palace rules over our genius like qualities that we overlook. We're overlooking society. Aquarius is the societal zodiac. This is the power to be one with all. We're collectively overlooking that trait, the power that we have to be one with all, the power of, and then to break that down is your uniqueness, your individuality, your rebellious energy, your revolutionary self, and the connectivity of all of that. That is a trait that we are overlooking. I totally agree with the astrology on that one. We definitely overlook that energy easily because we're too busy focused on the eighth Sephiro, which is a Sephiro of labeling and technicians, labeling things, compartmentalizing things, keeping everybody and everything separate. There's so many reasons why we could unite, but we won't because you look different, you think different, you do stuff in a different way. And it's like, okay, it's the power to be one, your unique self with the collective. That's how it's supposed to be. And that's happening in the second house. So that's the balance between our physical and non physical self with that energy there. Fortune is also in Scorpio, so the fortune is dealing with a transformation of power, hidden secrets and stuff like that, and that's in the 11th house. It's going to come out anyway, in either way, because right now the 11th house, that Aquarius energy of society, is is ruled by Scorpius energy, which is empowerment right now. So hopefully society is slowly becoming more empowered together, and dealing with that transformation of power. So now that we're done that, let's get into your tarot reading for the day, and I'll let you guys go. So the theme for today's reading is rebirth. Oh, see, I love it. I love full circle stories. We're talking about Scorpio and stuff like that. We are focused on our Pluto, our Jupiter, and our Neptune. That's what I was just talking about, right? Pluto, was sitting over there, and Aquarius, Capricorn energy, providing transformations and rebirth into our root chakra. We know Jupiter is sitting over there, and our Gemini, Taurus energy, providing expansion, abundance, joy, optimism to our community, our intellect, our sense of communication, as well as our home and family and our nurturings. No, our balance between our emotional and material. I went forward. I was supposed to go backwards. And then Neptune is in Aries Pisces energy. Well, it will be in Aries in a few hours. Aries Pisces energy, so that space of new beginnings, but also in the subconscious dreams and secrets. So rebirth in those spaces with a combination of Pluto transformation, Jupiter's expansion and abundance, and Neptune, your dreams and subconscious. Also, all three planets deal with that connection of the spiritual realm, getting that intellect from the oracle and the wisdom. So this is a great time for my spiritualists on this day is 7, which is all about spirituality as we deal with the 7 of Pentacles. This is a spiritual experience that we're having. The physical realm is rooted in that spirituality. And you see my man's looking all confident and courageous right here. And we love it here. We have the reverse hermit. So like I was talking about earlier with the 1, 4, and 7, you guys do well on the 7 day because 7, will put you in that space of like, my brain started playing all by myself. But remember that 7 is created by the 3 and 1, which brings a 4 foundation, and we're putting into that 3 of expression. So you're dealing with that, kind of like solo dolo energy when you're dealing with that 3 and 1, learning how to stand under what you know, da 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 da. But by the time we get into the 7, it's not about being in a hermit energy. It's about being in that interdependence, like what I talked about like what I was talking about, you know what I'm saying? You're building this up to be interdependent, not to stay by yourself. This time on this seven. Time to pop out and show spirit, right? What parts of self to focus on? The world card. I pulled the world card to focus on. This is Saturn energy, which is the root chakra. I talked about that too. We're dealing with Yesod, which is, you know, the divine womb, what we're giving birth to, and bringing that into Malkuth. So manifesting, bringing things into fruition, trusting the universe, and what the universe is bringing into fruition around us is definitely key here too. And we're also focused on the renewal in our root chakra, that Pluto energy, that transformations that I talked about up here, and that I gave y'all a whole spiel on before I even looked at these cards. Hey Romeo, peace to the God. Also, removing ourselves from disillusionment is a big one too, which I kind of went on a little tangent about that as well, as far as like we're in this experience where this guy, he is a Gemini, he's representing that Jupiter and Gemini energy with that Jupiter and Taurus energy. He's, you know, that's what's happening here, and it's creating a transformation in that root chakra. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a bang bang shoot 'em up type of war anymore. Now it's spiritual. Now it's more like mental, psychological. Now it's more fourth house, fifth house, you know, home and family, you know, heart chakra, emotional type energy, you know what I'm saying? So we're more so in those spaces with it. You know, a lot of people are like losing their minds. What are we going to do? Whatever, what have you. You know, so, you know, there's new beginnings happening in their root chakra and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to move about it. But this gives us an opportunity to move in things. And I was talking to somebody about that earlier. I had went to church today, and one of the ladies at the church. Her family like literally just got deported, and she was like, you know, it's different when, you know, you're thinking about somebody in your backyard, and you know somebody, you know, when it starts to hit closer and closer to home, then it's different. And I'm like, you know, that is true. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to sit here and talk about stuff that might not, y'all don't know if it's hitting me directly or not. You know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, it's like even as it is hitting me directly, if you wake up every day, you wake up with an opportunity to adapt and adjust and do things different. It still requires a sense of renewal in the root chakra. Like what answers are you going to come up to? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to, you know, and that comes back to like, who is your authority? You know what I'm saying? What is your survival self? And people have a tendency to be more reactive of, oh, this happened, so I got to move this way and do these different things and da da da. But, you know, if you weren't moving like certain things were your authority to begin with, shit, people, places, things, situations, and entities you already knew wasn't shit, that wasn't reliable, that didn't care about your survival and things like that, you know, I won't say that these things will never happen, but more so like you would have already been more mentally and physically prepared for certain things because you're not depending on this energy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So having that sense, whatever, but it's still, you know, a renewal happening in the root chakra as Pluto sits over there in the Capricorn Aquarius energy, providing a transformation in the power of your authority itself and that connection with society. And to remind you guys, Scorpio energy is ruling over the 11th house right now. So transformations in the power of society, on top of the fact that Pallas is over there in Aquarius right now. So we don't want to keep overlooking the power that society has. Um, you know, this is a gift, this is a trait, this is, you know, this is what we have. You know what I'm saying? We have each other, and there's power in that unity, and it's a power to be one with unity. That means that accepting people for their individualistic, you know, what they choose to do with themselves, and still coming together as a whole because we're all still facets of one whole. So that's the reading for you guys today. Those are the cards I have for you today in the planetary hour. People celebrate a 1 year cycle, but many do not celebrate a 24-hour cycle. They don't. Yeah, like I have to do this before I go to bed at night, or I don't go to bed well. But like, thank yourself for the things that you completed for the day. You know what I'm saying? What did you do for yourself? You know, what did you do for others? What did you complete? You know what I'm saying? How much of your to-do list did you get done? You know, and you could do that moment by moment. Be thankful for the things that other people gave you, different experiences that you were allowed to have, energy exchanges that you had throughout the day, stuff like that. Like every day is a celebration. And if you start thinking about it on that level, it'll stop being like, oh, woe, it's me. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Type energy every time something happens. Because you'll have like a different mindset about the happenings. How you choose to ingest your reality in a different events, and it definitely like changes the way things are, the way things happen. Agreed. I agree, Romeo. That's what I got for you today. We are officially in the lunar hour on a Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. Enjoy Neptune going into Aries, which is like a very big transit, because Neptune usually stays in a sign for about what, like 14 years. So we got some time with Neptune over there. But remember, Neptune is still in the Pisces zodiac, I mean Pisces constellation. So we still have the happenings, the dreamy subconscious, hidden things happening while Neptune is in the new beginning. So you'll see like your spiritual self, your dreams and stuff like that being more prophetic, putting you into spaces a whole lot, very fast, spiritual self moving very fast, while your physical body is still, in that dreamy subconscious energy. Astral projection is more of a thing, people wanting to be more in the dream world is more of a thing, all that fun stuff, because it's moving a whole lot faster. Gratitude in advance is key. It definitely is. It definitely is. That's how I like to start my day. I'll just be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you stay on that frequency of thankfulness, it opens you up to a lot of different things like divine time. And it makes you more aware of divine timing too. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that too. But you don't have to be like, don't be like so intentional that you're like purposely making things happen and stuff like that. It's like you're too concentrated on it. You fuck yourself up too. But I'm gonna let y'all go because I gotta get up in the morning, start my lunar day. Uh, but you guys enjoy. Feel free to hop back on YouTube and rewind to the beginning if you're just not getting in here. And I will see you later on this evening. I have a couple of things going on. Y'all know this. April we start off the voting. Let's know by April, we start off the voting of the Cosmic Nobodies Convention. This is the award ceremony that I do every year in the last weekend of August. I have made the decision to push back nominations. So while we'll still have the voting up, I'm still allowing people to come and nominate until May. So you have an extra 30 days to nominate for those of you guys just tuning in and don't know what's going on. If you would like a personal reading from me, feel free to reach out. I do personal readings, energy awareness sessions. I do workshops and things if you have an event coming up, etc., etc. In addition to that, I also will be on Due to Knowledge Radio later on today at 4:30 p.m. to talk more about the Cosmic Nobodies Convention and the releasing of the nominees that I had thus far and what categories they're being nominated for. So that's fun. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys. And I will see you guys later. So peace to y'all on YouTube.